Saints, and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Taken in the end zone, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First time we get to see this Baltimore offense here, and feast your eyes on the Madden cover man, Lamar Jackson, taking the field, ready to lead them at quarterback.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And Charles, will take a look there at the draft class for the Super Bowl champs as they took Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a final pick of the first round.
And I think a lot of people expected them to draft defense in the first round as they continue to want to get better there. But they are the Super Bowl champs, and they decided to stay on the offensive side and give themselves an extra weapon. But they did address the defense in the second round. Willie Gay, a linebacker, could flat out fly. He was the choice.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC-10. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last two games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard line.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
right side, it's Snead. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. The numbers for him from a week ago. 6 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
On second down, it's Ingram. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier. Good catch there by Mark Andrews, who was Lamar Jackson's favorite target last year. They came in the same draft class and quickly got in sync with each other. Andrews led the team in receptions with 64 last year for 852 yards en route to his first Pro Bowl.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
They run the option on 2nd down. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
And you know he wants to make the most of every carry because he competes with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson, 4 carries and yardage. But Mark Ingram, over 1,000 yards last season. And then the Ravens went out and drafted J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State in the 2nd round. So now the Ravens potentially have 2 guys to pair with Lamar Jackson in the run game. Wishbone formation, anyone? Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Justin Tucker lining up for the extra point.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Chiefs take over 1st and...
Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Pernell McPhee in there on the stop. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. What do coaches tell us all the time, CD? We've got to get our playmakers more involved, and certainly running with the football is one way, and it paid off right there.
And you're talking about paying off to great effect. How about the big explosive play that was a result of that play call? Big-time execution on that one.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives. So a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 48-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 44-yard line.
Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports.
Score tied 14-14.
They go play action now. Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Tried to get it to Willie Snead there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
And 6 yards to go.
To throw again is Jackson. He's going to drop this underneath to Ingram. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
10 at the 37-yard line.
And Jackson throwing once more. A short throw caught by Andrews. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
A gain of 7. Brings up 7.
4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. Jackson will throw again. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line.
Marquise Brown coming off of a solid rookie season, 46 catches, 584 yards, but he was never 100% in his rookie year. As head coach John Harbaugh talked about the foot injury that he played with throughout the season. Now they expect him to be 100% healthy, and when so, they'll see more of those plays that had everyone calling him Hollywood in college.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Quick slant to Brown. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
And now here comes Kansas City. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it.
Hey, 43, 15.
From the 29, Mahomes looking for Kelsey there, but it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Ingram, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun. His throw incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Here's Jackson to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
A lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it.
Goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll run here with Edwards. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind you're thinking Lamar Jackson got in the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
KC's offense ready to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half. 5 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
2nd and 10.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
2nd and 12 at the 28-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On play action, it's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Kansas City.
Mecole Hardman as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
His kick is
And he's got it up and through. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
For Kansas City.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup.
Justin Tucker to kick off.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Their own 24-yard line.
Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. It got his man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, that certainly made you think back to last year's Super Bowl because it was these two, Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. They connected on a play not all that much different from this one that really turned the tide in that ball game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
At the Ravens' 35-yard line.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And the 1st down, Chiefs.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
He's brought down.
Tackle made by Tyus Bowser. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8.
Not the kind of game that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of game that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Brings up 3rd.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Sammy Watkins is a former first-round pick in the NFL, and he sure reminded us during Kansas City's run to the playoffs last season. 10 catches in the AFC Championship game and a 98-yard receiving game in Super Bowl 54. He did talk about possibly stepping away and getting some time in the offseason, but Kansas City very happy to have him back in their lineup and in their fold.
Now Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
28.
Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation,
Ingram churning. He lost the football.
Mark Ingram, the ball carrier.
wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you're getting the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
4th down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is
the fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. A throw over the middle, caught by Bryant. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep finding it.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. Another costly turnover, their 2nd of this 2nd half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the 2nd half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing? It's football. Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, oh, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side.
brings up second.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the 1st quarter.
They were gone in the 1st quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Now they'll throw with Mahomes, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
So Lamar Jackson in the offense. Down by 10. Just over 1:40 to play. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing now is Jackson. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. On the crossing route, complete. It's Andrews. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. It doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done as you...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Kansas City.
So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Baltimore Ravens.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Caught right side, it's Snead. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Now it's Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to stick with Dez. There got too physical. Pass interference.
I like your note there. So physical. Hard for any defender to cover Dez Bryant without drawing a pass interference call.
He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
28.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Chiefs, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.